welcome to Consulting Conversations with Kris and Katie. Today, we are talking about how you can overcome resistance when starting your consulting or freelancing business. And this is a really interesting topic, Kris, because it's something that so many people face when they're starting their business. So what is resistance, and how is it that it manifests itself when someone is starting a small entrepreneurial business like consulting or freelancing?
Yeah, resistance is really that. It's like when you push back, when you have a dream or a vision or something you want to do, and all of a sudden there's little gremlins in your head that are pushing back, that are saying, you're not ready. This is going to be hard. Why would you think about doing this? You're not good enough. And so it's an internal thing that happens whenever you want to do something big, something that's important to you. And the more important it is, typically the more resistance you're going to face. Now, here's the thing. Here's how it manifests itself. It comes across as very logical and very rational. So your resistance may sound like, well, of course you'd like to start a business, but you fill in the blank. This is not the right time because your kids are at the wrong stage. This is not the right time because um, you don't have enough money in the bank. This is not the right time because you need to get another certification. Now, here's the difference. Here's how you know all those things may be well and true. And so, how you know the difference between when it's resistance and when it's a logical um, step or a logical thing that you need to get out of the way is how persistent it is. So, if you say it's your kids, right? If you say, I can't do this because they're in diapers, and then you have another reason when they're in kindergarten, another reason when they're in this grade school, and then middle school. And so if you find yourself, no matter what your situation is, still using that as the excuse, right? That's when it's resistance. It's that place that just keeps you where you are, and you've got to break through it to get to that place you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
So Katie, and I would say without doubt, I think anybody that's done anything big, started their own business, written a book, moved to a new location, hired a new employee, any of those big steps, you're going to experience some resistance, and the key is getting over it.
Right.
So what would you advise somebody that's experiencing resistance to do?
Yes. So one thing that we would suggest, and that it sounds so simple, but it really is so powerful, is just to take action. So instead of continuing to defer, figure out what is the next best step that I can take, so that no matter what, you're continuing to move towards that goal. Even if it's something really small, you're still, instead of pushing off and listening to those voices in your head, you're actually moving towards what it is that you want to accomplish.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So for instance, in my business, and I think lots of consultants reach this point where they're like, how do I continue to scale my business in its current state? Like, can it continue to exist as it is? And can I continue to grow? Or does something need to change? So I was figuring out what needs to change, but I was also deferring it a bit, right? I was facing that resistance of, oh, I can do this, starting at the start of 2020, or, oh, I'll figure it out after this client engagement goes through. But I realized I really needed to do something that would help me move my business forward. And so what I decided my next step would be is I'm going to bring on an intern and see how this helps me in increasing my capacity for serving my clients. And instead of being like, I'm going to hire a full-time employee right away, or I'm going to,
Right.
a different way to structure my business entirely, I decided, bringing on an intern would be my next best step. And by taking that action and by putting it out into the world, I was held accountable to do that. And I figured out having an additional person on my team is really nice. And I've now turned that intern into a longtime contractor. And I have been so excited and grateful that that was the step that I took. And I can see how my business is growing and benefiting as a result of that. But it came from taking action and actually committing to moving my business forward
Mhm.
in that way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. But that's really one way that you can overcome resistance. There are some others. So Kris, what is another really good way somebody could overcome resistance?
Yeah, I agree. There are lots of different ways, but another way that works for me is to find somebody that's gone before and learn from them, right? It happened to me quite naturally with my very first engagement back in 2004, and I happened to subcontract it And I subcontracted it with a woman who was an experienced consultant, and she literally took me under her wing and she mentored me. Um, and so that ability to reach out to other people who have done what you have done and to learn from them. And most often they're really willing to share. It's why I think sometimes entrepreneurs hang together, or people write books hang together, or people that want to write screenplays hang together. So, figure out who's gone before, and how is it that you could learn from them and reach out to them and let them help you um, get through this. I will share with you that whole idea of helping other people build a business that they love and do it with help and support is one of the main motivators we've both had for Leap.
Mhm.
Is, how do we make it easier for people? How is it that we share what we've done? So Katie, do you mind sharing some ways that people might lean into our expertise and our experience so that they can get past their own resistance?
Yeah, not at all. So, some next steps that you could take could be as simple as going to our website and exploring our free resources and downloading them to better understand what consulting as a career might look like. That could be a great thing. And then we also have paid resources that can help you figure out, is consulting right for you? That's our true fit assessment. Or we have cohorts and online programming that you can go through to actually launch your own business, and you'll have our guidance and our tools and knowledge that we impart to you, to help you be able to start your business swiftly, smartly, and with support. So if you want to learn more about those, you can check them out here.